Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ali. I'm a final year medical student at Cambridge University, and this is the fourth installment in the monthly favourite series where each month I talk about the favourite things that I've discovered that month, so like books, articles, podcasts, that sort of stuff. Before we get started, just a very quick life update. I found out a couple of days ago that I passed my final year exams, so I'm pretty much officially a doctor. I submitted my provisional registration to the General Medical Council, so pending some calamity, chances are I'm going to be starting working as a doctor in Cambridge from the 23rd of July onwards. So that's pretty exciting. Can't wait to vlog that as we go along, kind of life of a junior doctor. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started with this month's favourites from April 2018, and let's roll the intro. Alright, so this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the previous ones in the series, I reckon, because I think I have less to talk about this month, just because we've had exams and I haven't really acquired new things to kind of talk about as my favourite things. But first of all, I'm going to talk about Revue, which is an email newsletter service that I've started using. I started using it about 5 weeks ago to set up a weekly email newsletter. Brief plug, you can check out the previous issues of my weekly email newsletter that I send out every Sunday morning. So I'm going to talk about that service for a bit. Secondly, I want to talk about a pair of videos by CGP Grey about death. That's helped me reimagine my relationship with death. Thirdly, I'm going to briefly mention Avengers Infinity War, and fourthly, I'm going to talk about the beauty of having an Amazon Kindle to like read books on as one of my favorite things for this month. So let's talk about point number one. Okay, so Revue is an email newsletter service. It basically lets you gather up a mailing list and send emails to that mailing list however frequently you want. It's good because it kind of gets out of the way and lets you focus just on the writing. I've used loads of other email newsletter services over the years through running 6med and kind of trying to do email marketing and stuff, like MailChimp and things like that. And the thing I really like about Revue is that it's very suited to kind of a personal newsletter format. It's very easy to put links into your email, and it forms a little profile page for you that has all your previous issues, and it kind of forces you to stick to their design, which is nice because then I don't have to personally worry about what if my email newsletter's design is not like good enough, and I consider myself a bit of a web designer. It wouldn't be a shame if I had like a badly designed newsletter, all of that kind of stuff. It just kind of abstracts all of that away, so you as the writer sending the newsletter can just focus on the writing. So firstly, I wanted to mention that to plug my email newsletter. So if you go on email.aliabdaal.com, you can read all the previous issues of this newsletter, and if you like the kind of style of the writing and what I talk about, you might like to subscribe. I send the email out every Sunday morning / afternoon, and people seem to be enjoying it, and I get very nice responses, and I try and reply back to everything that I can. But more importantly, I wanted to mention it because I think there is a wider lesson that we can all kind of apply from this, and it sort of relates to habit building. So for quite a while, I've had like a personal blog on my website, and I write a post on it maybe once every few months at best, and I've yet to get into the habit of like consistently writing, and consistency is the key to any form of success in almost any sphere imaginable. So having this weekly newsletter that I know I have to write each week, that I know, like, you know, at the moment like 650 people, which is a stupidly ridiculous number to people that actually care about what I'm writing in an email, but like knowing that each week that I'm going to be sending an email to 650 people makes me very motivated and incentivized to actually write this email every week. And then if I'm writing an email every week, I want it to be good because obviously it's got my name on it. I don't want to deliver bad content to people. Therefore, I research more. It kind of gets me more into the habit of actually doing the writing. And also, kind of as I'm going through my week, it makes me a bit more introspective about the stuff that I read, the thoughts in my head, what I discover, because I'm thinking, I wonder if this topic I can research a bit more and kind of put it into a newsletter with a few interesting links. So my point is that having this audience that holds you accountable to doing something that you want to do anyway, i.e. kind of improve my writing, having the audience that holds me accountable to that is really good. And I think this can apply to pretty much anything. If you have someone or a group of people, a group of friends, family, teachers, whoever, holding you to account for something that you want to be doing, I think that's a really good way of building the habit and kind of hacking our own brains into wanting to do these things that otherwise would take quite a lot of effort, like writing, 1,000 words each week or anything like that. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that briefly. Firstly, to plug my email newsletter, you can check it out. And secondly, as a wider thing, that if you can find something that gives you that accountability, tell your friends, tell your family, make them hold you accountable. That's a really good way of building good habits. Secondly, I want to talk about two videos that I saw by CGP Grey. Now, if you haven't come across him, I think it's a him. CGP Grey is a YouTube channel, and he does like explainer videos on a lot of interesting topics. Nowadays, they're very, very thought-provoking videos with like really well done animations and a really interesting story, and a very good way of just kind of learning a lot about a lot of interesting things. And the videos that I came across a couple weeks ago, related to death. So there was this one about the dragon fable, which is really good, and then another one about what death is and whether death is a good thing. Now, in the past, I'd always thought, yeah, obviously death is a good thing, because without death, what's the point? Death is needed to kind of control the population. If we all lived forever, we'd all get bored. If we all lived forever, then almost nothing we do would have any significance. And I think I read in some random philosophy book that with that, it's only the transience of life that actually gives life meaning, or something along those lines. And I'd always just kind of believed that. But then after watching these videos and seeing CGP Grey's take on it, that genuinely made me change my mind about death. And I now no longer think that death is a required part of life. And kind of a few videos that I watched subsequently, that I'll link everything in the description below if you want to check them out, about kind of life prolonging treatments that we've now discovered and new research in the area of longevity, made me really appreciate the importance of maximizing our own time in good health. And that's made me pay much more attention to exercise and to my posture and to kind of stretching and to eating well and all of this stuff that's genuine, that's like objectively good, but that I'd never really paid any attention to before. And kind of getting this perspective about death being like this curable evil rather than this inevitable thing that we've all resigned ourselves, and that we tell stories to ourselves that it's actually a good thing. Having that perspective has given me more of a kind of solidified perspective on things like good health. So I've been experimenting a little bit with veganism. It's not really worked so far, but a few of you have very kindly sent me links via Instagram and stuff. I mentioned this on the email newsletter. Again, you can subscribe to the email newsletter if you like. So I just wanted to mention that. Highly recommend you check out CGP Grey's YouTube channel, and if you're interested in death, or even if you're not, you might want to check out these videos. They might give you an interesting perspective. Thirdly, very brief mention, Avengers Infinity War, incredible film, absolutely loved it. I just love anything Marvel in general. Like when I see that Marvel logo and the comic book flashing back and forth, I just know it's going to be a good film. And I have a very low kind of threshold for enjoying a Marvel film or any kind of superhero film in general. Like people say that like Batman vs Superman was bad. I know it's not Marvel, but I actually quite enjoyed it. I think it was pretty solid, and I just have this love of superhero films. And I wanted to mention that as one of my favorite things. I'm not really quite sure if there is a broad meaning to this. There probably isn't really. I just love superhero films. I love romantic films as well. Superhero films and romantic films are like the best genres in my opinion, and if they can combine the two together, then that is the absolute dream combination. But yeah, Marvel's Avengers Infinity War, really, really good film. Absolutely can't wait for the next one. Yeah. And finally, I want to talk about the Kindle. I'm gonna grab mine. This is a Kindle. The Kindle has done more to improve my own like reading and my like appreciation of the world than anything else in life, I reckon. And the reason I was thinking about this was I was thinking about what I was going to say in this week's video, and I was thinking that actually I really haven't come across much new stuff last month because I was revising for exams and all of this stuff. And I realized that the reason I haven't come across that much new stuff is because I had left my Kindle at my family home in St Albans for about 2 months. And normally what I do, like my bedtime routine, is that I get into bed around like 11 or 12 or whenever, and I turn all the lights off and I use the Kindle Paperwhite, turn the brightness all the way down, but still there's a little bit of backlight coming from it. And it means I can kind of read with all the lights closed. And I just kind of read something until the point where I feel myself getting really tired, and then I just chuck it onto the floor, chuck my glasses onto the floor, and just fall asleep. And I've noticed for the last like 2 months when I haven't had the Kindle, I felt that falling asleep was a huge waste of time, because I'd kind of be lying in bed for half an hour and just thinking random stuff. And I have this thing that I always want to be productive, and I don't want to be kind of wasting any time just thinking about random stuff. But since having the Kindle back, I've been able to sleep much better, because now I can read just to the point until my eyes start to close, and now have new stuff to read and expand my horizons. And the Kindle has a really nice feature where you can like highlight it, and then you can revisit your highlights, and it's a good way of taking more from a book than just kind of reading it once. But yeah, the Kindle is one of my favorite things ever. It has changed my relationship with life, because it's let me get instant access to pretty much any book I can think of within about 5 seconds of hearing about it. And you know that when like a friend recommends a book to you, you can just literally just buy it on Amazon, send it to your Kindle there and then, and you know that you will read it at some point within the next week. That's a really good thing. So Kindle is the fourth on my April favorites, even though obviously I've been using a Kindle for absolutely years. But you know, there's no reason why these videos can't have things that I like outside of, you know, things I discovered that month. But yeah, just wanted to say that. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. As you might be able to tell, I was struggling a little bit for things to say, but I think kind of the point I made right at the start, it's all about consistency. I've made a commitment to myself and to everyone else, really, that I'm going to be doing these videos each month. And so I'm going to be doing these videos each month, whether or not I have something to talk about, and it forces me to find something to talk about, to think a little bit harder about day-to-day life and the things I enjoy and whether I'm actually getting any value out of them and whether other people might get value out of them. So yeah, thank you for watching. The next few videos on here are going to be more vlogs, more study with me things, and we'll do some travel vlogs as well. And I think I might at some point do like a 20k subscribers Q&A. A lot of you have sent in questions via Instagram already. If you have any questions for the Q&A, just like post them down below or send me a DM on Instagram or email me, ali@aliabdaal.com, or like whatever social media channel you want to message me on. A few asks, if you want, you can subscribe to my email newsletter. I send the email out each week on Sundays usually that have something very vaguely interesting in them. You can have a look at the previous issues at email.aliabdaal.com and see if it's the kind of thing you might like, you know, reading. I've also started tweeting more, so anytime I come across something interesting, I just kind of tweet it. And therefore, like, I know a lot of you are kind of seem to be sending messages interested in kind of my favorite books or interesting things I discover that, or all of that kind of stuff. I'll be tweeting interesting links from my Twitter. And I've also recently set up a Facebook page, you know, one of those Facebook fan pages, because I feel like a proper narcissist having one of these Facebook fan pages. But yeah, if you like my stuff, please consider liking the Facebook page. I'm gonna be posting some like videos and maybe some live stuff on there, and maybe like if we do ever do like a in real life meet and greet, then I think Facebook would be the most legit platform to organize that on. So yeah, I know a lot of us still have exams left. I feel for you. Mine are all finished. No more exams for the next like 2 years. So all the best with your revision if you still got exams. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Have a lovely day. Good luck with your revision. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.